Hello, filthy movie lovers. My name is Gentry Austin.
And I'm Casey Scott.
And we're the hosts of the Sin Syndicate, film podcast for something weirdos, anti-criterion bros, and Joseph Sarno aficionados. Join us semi-weekly as we peer into the adults-only theaters and sticky-floored cinemas of the golden age of sexploitation, when the morals were loose, the laws were murky, and the intercourse was all simulated. Find us now on the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
Kulturecast. I'm Chris Stachiw.
And I'm Sean Liang.
And Sean, what do you get when you mix Nicolas Cage, vampires, and hardcore sex? You get Vampire's Kiss is the goddamn answer.
Get some blood.
Get some real overacting.
Yeah, some plastic teeth. That's what you get.
You also get some memes.
Yeah.
Some meme-worthy films.
Absolutely. Now that's what you definitely...
Meme-worthy performances. So today we're going to be talking about Vampire's Kiss from 1989 and continuing with our Nicolas Cage retrospective this month. But before we talk about that film, which I am honestly kind of dreading, Sean, have you been watching anything this week?
I honestly don't think since last we've talked I have, other than like having Rugrats on in the background. But that's about it. No, really, wow. I don't.
Simply stunning.
I brought that up because I'm really I have to bring it up. I'm offended by that video where like they played 10 theme songs to like 90s Nick shows, which I grew up on, and none of the kids knew anything, and it broke my heart. So that's all I've really been watching too nowadays.
What have I been watching? Nothing really. Started rewatching the Harry Potter movies. That's a thing that exists. You know, they're not good. They're not bad. They're kind of middle of the road.
Definitely some good memories for sure, for me at least. I
never got into the books.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I read like one of the books. It was like the third one for randomly because I had seen the first 2 movies and I was like, all right, well then I'll read the third book. But
I think the performances are good. It's cool. I don't know. It's cool to see some of the actors, Alan Rickman, Michael Gambon.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, it's like one of those rare cases where you literally, especially kids at the time, you grow up with these characters and like you see them grow up, and it's, just because it's a span of so many years, like these actors are so like imprinted now.
Oh yeah, you see them grow up in the films, obviously.
Right,
so.
Right. It's just saying, it's a rare case where you get to do that, but it happens. But it's an interesting. We actually been talking about doing a Harry Potter marathon because I actually have never seen the very last movie.
I mean the last 2 movies because the last book is split into 2.
Yeah. See, the sad part is I saw the first part and I just didn't see the second part.
I want to say that was the first in recent memory where it did 2 films for 1 book.
Yeah, I feel like that was the first time.
Because then The Hobbit did it too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, and then so did like Mockingjay did it.
Right.
a lot of movies started to do it after that. Yeah, I feel like that was one of the first ones.
So yeah, again, I think my favorite character in the films is Voldemort, but that's just me.
It would be.
Yeah, it would be your favorite.
God.
But that's all I've been really watching. I haven't really had time for anything else. Been pretty busy.
Yeah.
Pretty busy over at the site. If you haven't been over to the site recently, go check it out. We have a new design.
Pretty.
Layout over at the site, Kultureshock.com. So, pretty excited about that for sure. I am not excited to be talking about Vampire's Kiss.
Oy.
So I think we should just jump in head first. Hopefully the pool's not too shallow when we don't crack our heads.
Let's wear our helmets.
So, film came out in 1989. It's directed by Robert Bierman. Stars Nicolas Cage, Maria Conchita Alonso, Jennifer Beals, and Elizabeth Ashley. The IMDb synopsis for the film is, after an encounter with a neckbiter, a publishing executive thinks that he's turning into a vampire.
There's nothing earth-shattering.
He was an ordinary guy.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Looking for an extraordinary love.
I'm Peter Loew.
Rachel.
I brought this girl up to my place the other night.
It started with a kiss.
Really hot.
A very special kiss.
You wanted her very badly.
Yeah.
A kiss that could drive you mad.
I hate interrupted love affairs, don't you?
Yep.
It's affecting his work.
There you are! It's a horrible, horrible job. And you have to do it.
It's ruining his appetite.
My next appointment with you is Tuesday afternoon.
I'd like to make it sooner.
It's spoiling his sleep.
Sooner.
And don't think people haven't noticed.
Am I getting through to you? Over!
He is so eccentric.
My.
For Peter Loew,
Oh, sooner.
that's just love
Love.
in the big city.
Yeah! Don't laugh.
I'm a professional. I don't lie.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
Nicolas Cage,
The tortures of the damned!
Maria Conchita Alonso,
Shoot. Do it or I'll fire you. Do you understand? Not the floor, Alva.
and Jennifer Beals.
You're so pathetic.
Vampire's Kiss.
Strange stuff. I'll never do that again.
I was going to assume you've never seen this before.
Oh no, I have not.
Because why would you?
Right.
However, I'm assuming, Sean, you had seen the clip of Nicolas Cage reciting the alphabet.
I have. I've never seen the clip. I've seen the GIF. You know what I mean? So.
Gotcha.
But yes, that's so funny because I do remember seeing that and going, oh my God. There's a couple things from this movie that I have seen before, but never knew where it was from.
Including the meme of you don't say.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And I've seen seen Nick Cage with those plastic teeth before,
Right. So what did you think of the film?
It's such a bad movie. It's so bad. Like, it's bad. But there's something so entertaining about it. It kind of reminds me of Silent Night, Deadly Night. It really reminds me of those movies. Like, there's just something so awful about it, but so memorable. And it's the same thing happened with those movies. There's still memes from those movies, but like, there's something so disjointed about this movie where nothing makes sense, but like it seems to make a lot of sense to him, which is great, but it just leaves me out. You know what I mean? And so then I start to get really confused, and then it's just a joke. And Nicolas Cage offers a lot of jokes. So
Yeah, I don't know if he's playing it straight. He's playing it straight, but the film isn't.
Right, exactly. There's like a weird line that they're kind of treading, and it doesn't really make sense. Like they're not really going hard in either direction.
Right, and we were talking a little bit before the podcast, and the thing that this film really strikes me as, especially some of the themes and kind of the I don't know, the personality psychosis that goes on later in the film.
Yeah.
It strikes me as a less successful American Psycho.
Exactly. It's exactly
with
how
Nick
I
Cage
felt.
playing the Christian Bale, Patrick Bateman character.
Yeah.
I mean, they both are slowly going insane. They're not mentally stable to begin with. They're both these kind of, yuppie late 80s assholes.
Yeah, like they're the top, like the one, the 1%.
Yeah. I don't know, that's kind of what this movie is for me. It's a less successful American Psycho.
Yeah.
And this movie is bad. I don't think it's not as bad as, say, Peggy Sue Got Married. His performance in that movie is just like strange, and his performance in this film is strange, but I don't think it
seems like honestly,
he's not doing anything strange with his voice, and that's like a big thing that I was running into with Nick Cage in some of the early films that I've seen clips from in the whole film, is that he's like doing this weird, like really whiny like thing with his voice, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And thankfully he didn't do it in this film.
Yeah, well, that being said, his weird Yankee accent, like his dialect, was really weird to me, though. Very bizarre.
And supposedly reading up on it, that was intentional.
I know, and it seems like it was. The thing is that about this whole movie and what he does is that there are very strong decisions that he's made. And I believe that they're cohesive in his mind, but the way it's presented, it just seems arbitrary. And nothing is connected, and so and eventually I lose interest. That's what it is.
Right. Well, and Tim made a good point. Our guest from last Kulturecast, Tim Burns, he made a really good point that Nick Cage never underacts.
Exactly.
He always overacts, and that works sometimes.
Yes, at least the thing is that it guarantees an interesting performance.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean? Like,
look at it that way. I think you're being kind.
I am definitely I'm being optimistic there, but
from one fellow actor to another, I think you're being kind.
Exactly.
I'm assuming is your logic.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is, like, even if it's terrible and wrong or just doesn't make sense, like, it's not boring. I'll remember this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's bizarre. Like, him walking down the streets, talking to someone like that isn't, and I don't know why he's doing that, or like not even just why, but like the purpose in the movie, in the story. Like, I don't know why he's doing it or why we're watching it, but it's just so ridiculous that, like, I'll remember that. Him with that giant steak, like I won't forget that.
That's steak, S-T-A-K-E, not steak like a steak.
Right.
To be fair, it could go either way.
It really could. You could
in the vampire film. So, as the IMDb synopsis mentions, Nick Cage early in the film is bitten by Jennifer Beals' character, who may or may not be a vampire.
Right.
Because his character, before the vampire stuff is taking place, they intimate that he might be mentally unstable.
Right. He's already questionable.
Right. And that is further shown by this vampire, he thinks he's becoming a vampire.
Yes.
I like the idea of, is he a vampire? Is he not becoming a vampire? But the problem is in this film doesn't do a very good job of being successful without that question. Ultimately, I don't really give a shit.
Right, that's the thing. Like, I feel like I could figure out why this movie sucks, but I just don't care. Like, I don't, like, that's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, I just, like, it's like
the problem is the film itself is not very good, and so when it's trying to make you feel like, oh, are we supposed to be sympathetic for this guy, or are we supposed to question whether or not he's becoming a vampire or if he's just going insane?
Yeah.
The problem is the film doesn't. I don't really care about the character.
Right.
And I don't really care about his story in the film because the film hasn't made me care.
Exactly. Like, the whole time, like, the thing about this movie is, like, you're supposed to wonder if it's real or not, but at one point you just know, and it's like there's no payoff. And I think it's because it tries to be a comedy horror, and it's just such the giveaways that you get with the comedy kind of ruins the horror. But the problem with this movie is that it doesn't feel like a comedy at all.
No, it's not really funny. It's It's not funny at all, really.
No.
It's not a funny movie.
It's funny because if you stand out of context and watch Nicolas Cage, it's ridiculous. But,
oh yeah, that's the funniest part of this fucking movie.
Right, that's the only way this is a comedy.
Is ha ha ha, look at Nick Cage overacting like an idiot.
Exactly.
It's not this movie is actively trying to be funny.
Exactly.
I don't know. So that's the thing. You know, we talk about Nick Cage, and this is like such indicative of him as an actor,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Is that he's kind of this punchline now in Hollywood.
Yes.
He's totally a punchline as far as I'm concerned, and that's his own doing.
I kind of agree, especially in a case like this.
No one's forcing him to overact.
Yeah.
Right?
It just seems to me that like there is such a disconnect between him and the rest of the crew, and like there's a lack of you know what I mean. They're not together on this, and that I agree is definitely on him.
Well, and you know when you look at him in this film up against the last week when we were talking about Raising Arizona, which is an awesome movie, way better than this film.
Yeah,
I just don't know where the disconnect is.
Right.
I think Nick Cage might just it has to be a good script otherwise.
Exactly. I think he was utilized perfectly. I mean, because I think he still had some like really, if you look at it, like he had the same big choices, like really huge choices in Raising Arizona, like very like just from the way like that one scene where he like, I know we're going back, but like when he's like cleaning up his trailer really quick, and he like takes the magazine and puts it under the bed and then takes it out again and looks at it. Like there's just some ritual to what he does that makes it so, I don't know, like it's very real to him, and those choices have become so big. But I think that, you know, they really used it in a great way for his character, and that it just really worked in that script. And I think if you let it go on, you know, that it's the kind of thing where if you let it go out of hand, it just doesn't work, you know?
No, you're totally right. Nick Cage in this film, the director or maybe the screenwriter, they just didn't, it's not that they didn't care, but they just let him go nuts.
Yeah, they didn't know what to do with him, I think. It just, they didn't know how to work, to make it work. That's what it feels like.
And I don't know how this film could have worked.
Yeah. With Nick Cage, I don't know how it could work. I don't know.
Right? Because Nick Cage, he doesn't seem to understand what it's like to underact.
Yeah.
And to be restrained. And I feel like the only way that he acts restrained is someone telling him, hey, you need to restrain yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
And in this film, I mean, you take the scene where he's giving, you know, where he's reciting the alphabet as an example.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit, that scene is terrible.
I had a difficult day yesterday. Got a little upset.
If you're looking for more horror outside of the mainstream, look no further than Unsung Horrors, a podcast about underseen horror movies. I'm Lance.
And I'm Erica. Every other week, we'll cover a horror movie with fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. We'll even give you double feature recommendations to pair with the movies we discuss.
From gothic to shot on video, from slashers to comedies, from giallo to J-horror. We'll cover all the subgenres, so join us as we unearth these hidden gems of horror.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Unsung Horrors, available wherever you listen to podcasts. And part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
At the office.
Do you want to talk about it?
Well, it's just there's this contract we're trying to locate. Shouldn't, if a literary agency makes a copy of every contract, of every single contract it makes with a client, and then puts it in a file, in the appropriate file, shouldn't the copy be in that file?
Yes, I suppose it should.
It should, right?
Yes.
Right? Yep.
Unless, of course, it's somehow been misfiled.
What, misfiled?
Yes, misfiled. Sometimes somebody puts a document in the wrong file and then it's misfiled. It makes it much harder to find.
Who? What do you mean, who?
I don't know who exactly.
You don't?
No, I don't. Whoever filed it in the first place, but for God's sakes, Peter, I am not telling you one single thing you don't already know.
How could somebody misfile something? What could be easier? It's all alphabetical. You just put it in the right file, according to alphabetical order. You know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
Peter.
H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P,
Peter.
Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Huh? That's all you have to do.
Very good. You know your alphabet.
I never misfiled anything. Not once, not one time.
I'm sure that you didn't.
I want to know, really, who did?
I cannot possibly tell you that.
You can't?
No, I can't.
Ha! You call yourself a psychiatrist?
Because it's just it serves no purpose. He's just screaming.
Exactly. That's what most of it just seems to serve no purpose.
Right?
Yeah.
He's just screaming. All he's doing is screaming, and he's screaming at the camera, and he's screaming the alphabet, and it ends up just being a joke because and it ends up being a joke, but the problem is he's not in on the joke.
Right.
We're laughing at him, not with him.
Exactly. It seems like they're making two different movies, you know what I mean? And yeah, the thing about Nicolas Cage too is I feel like most of the time when I see him, I feel like he is a strange guy. And this is already, the circumstances in this movie are very bizarre, and it's hard to sort of follow both at the same time, you know?
Right. Do you think he's becoming a vampire?
No, I totally don't.
Okay, because I didn't either.
Yeah.
I just felt like he was just like descending into like insanity.
Yeah, and especially that last scene in the club, that made, to me, that's when I was like, when he sees Rachel again, and she doesn't seem to like see, like I feel like he totally.
She's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah,
dude?
yeah. To me, I totally made up like this, like I tried to make logic of this, and to me it seems like this guy who is literally like the top, he's like he's like the best in the best, he's 1%, he's isolated by being like at the top, and he totally is used, he, you know, at the beginning it shows him going out and he uses women, like he's a complete misogynist, but in a lot of ways the way he just abuses the women in this movie, which by the way isn't a comedy, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't work out.
No, it's pretty offensive.
Yeah, it is, and like he's really offensive to like Alva, but all of the women in this movie is just horrible. Leads to this insanity and like this need for like a fantasy that he needs to fulfill, and it totally makes, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Because there is no justification in what he does ever.
No, you're totally right. It just, I understand the story they were trying to tell, but they never fully committed to telling that story.
Exactly.
They committed more to the story of trying to, you know, have him become a vampire, but not.
Yeah.
And they never really commit to the story of like him falling apart mentally. They really don't commit to that until like the last 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah, exactly.
Where he's like wandering the streets and he's having that hallucination with his psychiatrist.
Yeah, and the rest of the movie, it's more just trying to figure out what the hell we're supposed to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's Nick Cage doing strange things, emoting and mugging for the camera.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, just think about that scene where he's got like you said, he's got the fake teeth on, you know, the vampire teeth, and he's walking around the club and he bites that woman's neck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so goofy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And I just, you know, everyone else in the film is not playing it straight, but they're reacting to Nick Cage.
Right. And what he's, you know, I mean, like I said, he rapes a woman, you know what I mean? And like that, it's not funny, you know, like, right. I don't know. It's just like, it's not funny. And I think that the attempts to make it funny just make it sort of tasteless.
Right, because he's like, I'll rape you. Like, whoa, that's like...
Yeah, like, wait. Yeah.
It's not a good movie.
Yeah.
And I think my real problem with this movie is just Nick Cage as an actor, just not... The lack of restraint with him as an actor is astounding.
Yeah. Some people love that, though. I mean, I brought... it's funny, because I brought this up to my friend, and I never really even heard of this movie. But I brought it up to my friend, and he like, his face lit up, and he was like, hell yeah, like, and this is one of the reasons why, like, my people find Nick Cage endearing, because like shit like this happened.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
With Nick Cage, because I find it grating.
Yeah, that's fair.
Really grating. And that to me is like, there's a certain level of fun that I can enjoy an over the top film.
Yeah.
But over the top films I enjoy, this over the top performance that serves no purpose is not fun for me.
Yeah, I don't enjoy watching this. Yeah, I agree. I'd rather watch like The Gifts.
Or I'd rather watch any other movie that has overacting.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true.
This movie's overacting is just not fun overacting. It's overacting for overacting's sake.
Yeah, well, it's also because he's the only one doing it.
Yeah, well, that's the worst part.
Yeah.
It's not like everybody's going off the rails. He's just going off the rails, and everyone's like,
what the hell?
Maybe that's the point of the movie, right? Is like his character is going insane.
Right.
But the story is not compelling enough to carry the weight of that insane performance.
Right. Well,
at its core, it's not really an interesting story.
No.
Oh, this guy may or may not have been bitten by a vampire. I think they should have committed to him being a vampire.
Yeah.
Or committed to him not being a vampire.
Yeah, one way or the other. Just like start off and let it be that, you know?
This whole question thing, not interesting.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think that's where they wanted to go. I think it should have started with him us knowing he's not a vampire. I mean, that's what this is to me. I mean, and it just maybe that wouldn't be. I don't know. Maybe that's not interesting enough. But it's super dull. Down.
I don't know. I feel like they could have gotten away with that.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it would have at least been, a clear direction. I think you would get something interesting out of that.
Yeah, and I think that the script is the real problem with the movie.
Yeah.
Nick Cage's performance
kind of enhances the problem.
Yeah, but ultimately, even a over the top performance can be offset by an interesting story. A story worth telling.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the story in this film was even worth telling.
Yeah.
It's just, if you want to watch a movie like this that pretty much tells the exact same story, just go watch American Psycho.
Yeah, exactly. That's the truth.
Yeah, this movie doesn't do anything that movie doesn't do.
Yeah, and it does it way better.
Yeah, and you're right. That movie does it way better. Yeah. I mean, way better.
Yeah.
I mean, Christian Bale in that movie versus Nick Cage in this movie, like, apples and oranges. They're just on two different planes.
Right, and it's literally the same story. It's about this rich guy who turns into a murderer. You know what I mean? Like, and it's
or who may or may not be a murderer.
Right. Exactly.
It's still up in the air.
Exactly.
And man,
but the story's told so much better through American Psycho.
American Psycho does it way better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, skip it or watch it. Best performance, Sean.
It's tough when people hold movies like this, because there are a lot of people who I think really like this movie, or at least like to remember this movie fondly.
I think they like it ironically.
I do too. I don't think it's worth the full watch. I really don't. I could have lived without this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anything really happened in this movie. Most of the time, I just was asking why. And something can be entertaining for so long. You know what I mean? So my final verdict is skip it. Best performance, Alva's mother. She's the one I believe the most. She had like 3 seconds of screen time, but like, I believe that girl. I was like, yes, I know where you're coming from. And I'm rooting for her. So
I'm with you. I think this is a total skip. The film is trying to do something interesting with Nick Cage's character, but I just don't think it ever gets there. I think it's just overacting for overacting's sake. And that to me is not interesting because the story doesn't even care. The story doesn't care enough. It's just like, well, overacting's fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. overacting is fun, so let's just try to, float all the way down the river on Nick Cage's boat of overacting insanity as there's holes, sinking the ship because no one cares about the story. So, best performance, I don't even know if there is one. That's John Michael Higgins as Ed, the guy who keeps calling Nick Cage about his contract. He's like on screen for like all of a second.
I was going to say, oh, he was on screen. Oh my gosh.
David Hyde Pierce was in the film as well.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah, in the movie theater. So,
wow.
What do you think the film has on Rotten Tomatoes?
That's tough. I'm gonna guess like a 48.
59%.
Ooh, man, I was kind of close.
I'm actually surprised it's that high. It's like a couple points away from being considered not rotten.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy.
It is insane.
Oh, that reminds me. I finally saw a trailer that showed the Rotten Tomato score. It was the new Meryl Streep movie.
They were like that. They were piggybacking with the Rotten Tomato score.
Yeah, they like got a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, "Are you joking? It's happening."
Yeah, like that's the new measuring stick that trailers are going to use.
Oh yeah,
is the Rotten Tomatoes score.
Soon it's going to be. We have this many friends on Facebook.
We have all the social media presence.
Yeah,
guys.
that's what it's good.
Yeah, that the Rotten Tomato is fun. That's why we do it here at the end.
Yeah.
To see how it syncs up with our thing, but movie companies like stroking themselves in their like TV spots, being like, "Look how good it is on Rotten Tomatoes, so you have to come see it."
Yeah.
The Ghostbusters movie was middle of the road, and it has 73%. We get it. You trying to convince people that the movie is worth seeing,
right?
But sorry, a lot of people aren't going to be. Convinced by that.
If anything, sometimes it's almost like it's like counting your tips. You know what I mean? It's like putting that like that's what you do for like when you're trying to sell the movie to producer or to distributors. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's not what you do when you try to sell it to an audience. You know?
Look how good the score is.
Exactly.
Right.
We're this popular.
Yeah.
So you should like us too.
Yeah. Well, before I talk about next week's Kulturecast, Sean, anything you're working on you can talk about?
I'm working on some stuff, but Ghosts and Stuff is still coming out on YouTube, so check that out. It's coming to a close, and actually there's a few more episodes left. But check it out on YouTube, subscribe, and you can check me. I'll post that on Facebook also. As always, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm Shonifer, and on Facebook, I'm Sean Liang.
You can follow me on Twitter at Kulturestash. And like I mentioned at the top of the Kulturecast, going over to cultureshock.com, we have a nice new design, nice new layout. It's much more pleasing on the eyes, easier to get around. And if you want to check out the Kulturecast, they're right on over there at cultureshock.com/Kulturecast. Big thanks, as always, to Evoca for providing the music for the Kulturecast. We are happy to be teamed up with them. They are an awesome metal band out of LA. Check them out on their Facebook page as well. And if you want to kick a couple dollars our way, patreon.com/culture_shock to help us out, to keep the lights on over here at 0069 Culture Shock Tower. Next week, we're going to be talking about the film that garnered Nick Cage an Oscar, Leaving Las Vegas. I'm really interested to see this film.
Me too. After seeing Raising Arizona and then Vampire's Kiss, I'm very interested.
Yeah, so am I. It should be something.
Yeah.
And then on Thursday, we're going to be talking about Suicide Squad.
Woo-hoo.
Which early reviews coming out have not been kind.
Nope. But they really never have been, I don't think. So.
I mean, comic book movies this year.
Yeah.
The Marvel movies have been very positively reviewed, aside from X-Men Apocalypse. Yeah. But the DC movies, we're going to have a really interesting conversation come next week. We're going to be joined by guest Matt Campagna. He's a film director from Canada, and he's a frequent guest on the Kulturecast. And I think we're going to have a really interesting conversation because this film has a lot riding on it for DC.
Yeah.
And the future of the DC cinematic universe. So
I'm actually very interested. I've always been interested in seeing this, so I'm excited.
I think it's going to be something. So make sure to check that one out.